My name is Adam Mitchell, and this is my mountain dulcimer. The mountain dulcimer is a stringed instrument invented in the Appalachian Mountains of the United States sometime during the 1700s. Along with the banjo, it's one of the two folk instruments to be invented in the United States after people came over from Europe. Most dulcimers are made with a wooden fingerboard mounted over a hollow wooden body with holes cut out to let out the sound. Although most dulcimer bodies are made out of wood, some modern builders are using extra tough cardboard, which is what this blue one here is made of. You play the dulcimer by holding it in your lap like this, and holding down strings with your left hand, like this, and strumming with your right, like this. You can either strum with a pick, like I just did with this one, or you can use your fingers to play, like this. Fun fact, when people first started playing the dulcimer, they didn't have plastic picks yet, so instead of strumming with a pick, they used turkey feathers. To change the sound, you hold down the strings at different places on the fingerboard between special wires called frets. These are frets right here. Pressing the string down in a fret makes the part of the string that vibrates shorter, which makes the pitch higher. So I play the string what's called open, and then I press down the frets, and you see the pitch gets higher all the way until, let's say I go really, really, really far down here, and so if I play a scale, like that. So you'll notice that the frets on this dulcimer look really uneven. That's because the frets are set up so that you can play only a scale. It's actually kind of nice when you're first starting out because it's really hard to play something that sounds wrong. Have a listen, I'm just going to make something up. This is a little bit different from a guitar. Guitars actually have frets that all kind of look the same width this way, and they get a little bit shorter as they go down the neck. Guitars are called the chromatic instrument, which means that they can play every single note. The dulcimer, on the other hand, is something called a diatonic instrument, which means that it can only play within a scale, and it can only play certain notes. There are actually notes on a dulcimer that, or notes that you cannot play on a dulcimer. But we'll talk about that another time. When dulcimers were first invented, instead of using their fingers on their left hand to hold down the notes, people would use something called a noter. A noter is this thin piece of wood right here. Using the noter, they would only hold down the frets on the string closest to them, while the other strings rang out. Because of this, the string closest to you is called a melody string, and the other two strings are called a drone string. So here's an example of a melody being played with a noter. It's a traditional melody called Old Joe Clark. It goes a little bit like this. So most dulcimers have three strings either made of steel or steel wrapped in bronze. My wooden dulcimer actually has 5 strings. We'll talk about why that is in a second. And my cardboard dulcimer has 4. Although they have more than 3 strings, they actually still have 3 groups of strings. If you look really closely, you can count them. So we have this one, and then we have the second, and we have the third one here. So it's actually, they actually still have 3 groups of strings. Even though they have more than 3 strings, it's just that some of the groups have more than 1 string in a group. So if you see this string right here has 2 strings in a group, and this one here has 1, and then this one also has 1. Where with my wooden dulcimer, it's the same thing. This one has 2, and this group has 1, and then this one also has 2. So think about them like twins that look and sound exactly alike. If you look closely, the strings in group of two are really close together. This is so you can play them at the same time, which makes the notes I play on those strings seem louder. This gives the dulcimer a fuller sound when you are playing instrumental music, and it helps you to hear the tune. So here you can press down two at the same time. Kind of use my pinky here, so you hear that both. And then I'll play the same note on the string with just one string, and you can hear the difference in volume. So here's that same string, and then here's that same note, but on this other string, and you'll hear it's a little quieter. So you might be wondering what those knobs on the top of the dulcimer are for. Those are called tuners, and they help to keep the strings at the right tightness. If I twist them tighter, the string gets higher in pitch, like this. Here it go up. If I loosen them, the string pitch goes down. For you musicianly types, modern dulcimers are usually tuned D, A, D. Traditionally, they were tuned D and then two A's. So now that you know a little bit more about the mountain dulcimer, I'd like to share a song with you. This is an American folk song called Old Joe Clark. The chorus goes a bit like this. I'll play the melody for you first, and then I'll sing it for you. Round and round, old Joe Clark, round and round I say. Round and round, old Joe Clark, I ain't got long to stay. Round and round, old Joe Clark, round and round I say. Round and round, old Joe Clark, I ain't got long to stay. Cool. So Joe Clark is this guy that people like to tell tall tales about in the song. The song has several verses, but every time after the verse it goes back to the chorus. So since you've heard it a few times, feel free to sing along with me as we go. So here's the song. Round and round, old Joe Clark, round and round I say. Round and round, old Joe Clark, I ain't got long to stay. Old Joe Clark, he had a mule, his name was Morgan Brown. Every tooth on that mule's head was 16 inches round. Round and round, old Joe Clark, round and round I say. Round and round, old Joe Clark, I ain't got long to say. Old Joe had a yellow cat, she'd neither sing nor play. Stuck her head in the buttermilk jar and washed her cares away. Round and round, old Joe Clark, round and round I say. Round and round, old Joe Clark, I ain't got long to stay. Old Joe Clark, he had a house 16 stories high. Every room that I've been in filled with chicken pie. Round and round, old Joe Clark, round and round I say. Round and round, old Joe Clark, I ain't got long to stay. I went down to old Joe's house, invited me for supper. Stubbed my toe on the table leg and I stuck my nose in the butter. Round and round, old Joe Clark, round and round I say. Round and round, old Joe Clark, I ain't got long to say. One more time. Round and round, old Joe Clark, round and round I say. Round and round, old Joe Clark, I ain't got long to say. Well guys, I'm Adam, this is my dulcimer. Have a good day.